You know, I mean, even addictive based traumas.
Well, as you know, I do have a lot of background in addiction therapies, particularly biofeedback solutions to addiction. My teacher there was the famous Martin Wuttke in California, who himself solved his heroin issues with brainwave biofeedback. And, you know, the story there we've told many times. On the day that the alcoholic, for example, learns to make alpha in their brainwave, which is the beginnings of bliss, that's the day when the next drink of beer will not taste good. That's the famous, and the meaning was simple, that addiction, for example, alcoholism, or by implication drugs, was a wrong turn on the right road, as we often say, to bliss. And basically, the body and your teenagers are all willing to risk life or death in order to have some form of bliss, and rightfully so, because they know their immune system and immortality depends on accessing some form of bliss. And so the alcohol, or the addiction, alcohol in particular, mimics the bliss experience by, in this case, reducing the oxygen in the brain, which increases the conductivity, decreasing inhibition, and increasing alpha. So in effect, since alpha we know is basically the Schumann harmonic and the beginning of the cascade of harmonic that implodes, base conjugates, and causes bliss, the charge implosion. And so when you use some simple biofeedback, and we're getting better and better at that with flameinmind.com, to teach people to make their first alpha, when they can make alpha inside themselves, that's the day they don't want their next drink of beer. Actually, that's the famous story. And we actually know why, and we've told this many times, is that, you know, I did tests for many years doing brainwave biofeedback where people who could make alpha, you ask them the question, when you close your eyes, do you see light or dark? The people who can make alpha say yes, and the people who cannot make alpha in their brainwaves say they see dark. So it's actually quite simple. By learning to make alpha, it turns the lights on. And now we even know what the light is. The light is the charge implosion that we call bliss, which is actually a cascade from alpha to beta, which starts the caduceus and conjugates, etc. So it all really fits together. Now, not to digress, but what we've been working on so much lately, and what is on my mind today, actually, is the group of children we started working with in Amsterdam with Iris, called the Outer Vision Project. flameinmind.com/outer vision. You can see the whole story. And basically, these are the kids who famously can see without their eyes. And we have dozens of films working with them, and they're completely blindfolded, and they're, you know, working with blocks and coloring, which obviously they're seeing clearly without their eyes. And this is a global famous phenomena. It's not even rare, actually. And so, you know, Korotkov pioneered, he found golden ratio in the brainwaves of kids who could see with their eyes. And we have expanded that program and actually updated several times and improved flameinmind.com to now see alpha better, see gamma better, and see that cascade better, and to show the curves of the brainwaves. And we could show some of those pictures, but it's all at that link, flameinmind.com/outer vision. Anyway, so we're now, that project is successful. We're successfully able to see that harmonic cascade in the brainwave of kids who can see without their eyes. And Korotkov started doing that years ago, but our app, you know, really evolved that. But now we're expanding that. Valerie's friend, Lady Denise, was telling us about how she sees elementals by closing her eyes. And you know, these kids say it's like seeing through a tube, a vortex. And indeed, how you see elementals, etc. So now the kids are going to visit Denise in Germany to see if the trance state they use to see without their eyes enables seeing elementals. And Denise draws a picture, it's very cool. And we believe that there's evidence even that this enables telepathy. And there's so much going on because we took brainwave cascades of people who have bliss, golden ratio, and EEG cascades, telepathy, octave cascades, Patrick says the kids who can see without their eyes have both a golden ratio and an octave cascade in the harmonics of their EEG going from alpha through gamma. At any rate, so the last thing I'm going to say, and this is why I'm a bit excited about our wonderful friend Myra from Athens and Paris is currently doing a documentary with us, because when she started using Therify with those same harmonics, she started having incredible lucid dreaming and telepathy experiences, which triggered all kinds of things in her life. And we're going to have a new Therify blog all about these things, about how these harmonics trigger that still point. But he's quite famous, and he teaches how to lucid dream. And he's there saying, yes, better in lucid dreaming to do the meditation, because you create a still point, and the still point is the leverage that enables you to steer when you're lucid dreaming. Like the tornado, the vortex, the whole thing, which obviously is the phase conjugate charge implosive point that things like brain harmonics and the Therify make. That's how you fabricate the still point that gives you leverage to steer the tornado and the dream.